Brother Floyd was a sexual perversion. The man had his hand in his pocket. We call it pocket pool. Just look at the thing. He's not moving. The other thing was, this man was assassinated Zionist style, the way they do Palestinians. It's come out in the media, the great cooperation between the American police department, departments, and the Israeli police departments. So when you want to find the open enemy against the American people, African American people, Palestinians, and global fitna, right now you have to look at the Israelis. There's the American police, they'll try to kill you quick and cover it up and everything. But they're not going to stand there with their knee in you. No. And everybody's yelling at him. And the guy is knowing, he's getting ready to die. That means they studied the record. This guy had 17 or 18, 20 challenges on his record. So who knows them? That man was selected and chosen by the Israelis. And he's supposed to do this when the opportunity arises. First of all, they got him already in the car. Yeah. They take him out of the car, and there's no reason for it. But this is a time to kill this person on television and to bring out all the people to demonstrate. They will demonstrate, they will run around, and then they will call it a day. Only a part of that happened. Let's look at what happened. First of all, the world rose up, and the visualization of the world looking at America, right, is phenomenal. That means America can't talk about freedom, justice, and equality to nobody. They can't invade anybody as an army of liberation, because look what you're doing to your people. And all of a sudden, people bring up all the other events that's been going on in America for decades and decades, for over 100 years. And they recognize that. And the Congress pretends to recognize it. And the Munafiqs, everybody get on board. They on board. They outlaw Aunt Mama. Now look, I am pro, I'll admit it. We all I eat stuff, you see what we have down there. What are they talking about? Aunt Mama ain't did nothing to nobody. And it's just a sales gimmick. Right. You put an old servant or somebody, and that ain't no old Aunt Mama like the old Aunt Mama used to be really handkerchief-headed, and each decade they changed. I don't know. When we was kids, Aunt your Mama was really Aunt your Mama. And Uncle Ben was really, Uncle Ben. Now, not to change the subject, but they're going back and they're taking, not only are they destroying statues from the Confederacy and all that, but they're taking Walt Disney films and all kind of films, and they want to take out all of the racist images. Now, I don't know, probably nobody has seen Dumbo the elephant, but right. Dumbo the elephant, it had some jack-o'-lantern niggas. They was, You know, in the country, they got house flies, you know, in the house, and then they have horse flies. And so these Negroes sang a song about Dumbo, making fun of it. That I beat unseen everything when I see an elephant fly. And so they say, they laugh and they say, I done seen a house fly, you know, like a house, house fly. Yeah. I done seen a horse fly, you know, and they laughing. But I ain't never seen an elephant fly, you know, just making fun. Now they want to take those scenes out.
Right.
If you take those scenes out, you destroy the historical context of the doggone thing. Okay, leave it in there. That's the racist. If you scrub everything clean, if you take Gone with the Wind and take the, you know, certain scenes out, you'll destroy the whole context of the movie, right. The real context. So technically, we into leaving all of that stuff in there. Leave it in there so people can look and see this is how they thought about you, right? Walt Disney thought this. Everybody, it ain't nothing. So if we allow them to take that stuff out, we will allow them to destroy or deplete the pictorial picture of America. You see, the picture that they had of America and of us. So we have these demonstrations here. And what we have to do is we have to test them. That's what all the things we was doing, we was testing them to see where they coming from. Now, this has happened many times before, and we would test the system, and we would see basically how they're going to respond to us. So I remember there's many times, for instance, with the agency that searches people when you go on the planes. Okay.
TSA.
What's their name?
TSA.
TSA. So TSA. When I was here, remember, I'm saying there are blind spots. This goes back at least 10 years more, probably 15 years ago. I wanted to test them to see how disciplined they were and da-da-da-da. So I made a few statements. Yeah, they can keep up with me, but see, they can keep up with me when I go on the plane. But see, they don't know who's getting on the plane with me. You know, in other words, they search me, but they don't know who. Now I'm saying that. And right after I say it, you know, with those cheap flights, they're never a direct flight like to Oakland.
Right.
So you change flights. Right after I said that, they started checking me out before I would go on the plane. And when I got to change flights, they would bring tasks to that changeover flight, and they would check everybody on that changeover flight. And I have that basically because TSA has to record what they do. And I have a record of my flights.
Right.
And where I changed over. So when I go into court, I can prove that I could set, if I want to, I could prove, I could make them do certain things. Why can I can by saying, it's a test. How much are you paying attention to me? Oh, yeah, well, you can check me out, but you can't check out, you know, nobody else. And so they check out you would have to show your ID. You know, and I would have to show my ID again too. And I'm already checked out. So when I go on the plane, I'd have to show my ID again. and I'm still in the security zone, and everybody else that get on the flight, they would have them there, and it wouldn't, it was nothing but a check. And so I'm making them use all their resources. You gotta imagine. They gotta call, they gotta do this, all the taxpayer dollars. I'm using all their resources to send them through changes. Okay, that means, remember, every system has blind spots. They test us all day long. We test them too. That's how we know. That's how we know what we're doing. Look, I'm sorry. We have so far haven't been wrong on our assertions about what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, how long it's going to last, or nothing else. Is that basically true?
Yeah, nah, you've been right. You know, you've been.
That means okay. I can't just up and be right. You know, if you got a test, you got to study for the test.
Right.
You got to ask questions. You got to. So if we're correct, that means that it's something that we're doing that makes our study of them comprehensive.
Right.
It's comprehensive. And so not only that, but we also discover things they don't know they have, blind spots. We know their blind spots. And by us acting so correct, they know we know them, and they can't figure out where are our blind spots. We'll tell them one or two, but we're not going to tell them that they made blind spots, because we're going to we could run a whole troop through a blind spot. You know what I mean? 50 troops of people flying, and we can do anything we want because they can't see it. They can't see it because it's a blind spot. It's a scotoma. They call it. Scotoma is something that you're looking at, but you can't see it. Yeah, okay. So how deep this goes, it goes back to Chico, it goes back to Fats. It goes back to, our preparation for this job. That's what it goes back to. And that's why we call this the old master. The old master is the martial artist. You know, the young guy jumps up and down, turn flips, and all that stuff. The old master don't do that. He just do. He don't use up all of his energy. That's the way we've been doing Boss Man. Now we'll get back to, number one, how much time and focus and resources do they use on us? Can we put them in motion? Yes, we can. Can they do stuff to us? Of course, there's no problem. But you gotta remember, we're a handful of people, and we can move the whole government. How is it that we could have the whole police department? Example, do you think that the stuff went down there that a lot of us, when we telling them, okay, this is stage managed, this is this, that, and another, and what do? They pull the police back to right where we are. I mean, we could reach out and touch them. And then the people acting, it lets the air out of everything they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's our old homeboy, the big old white boy, right?
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, he's there, and so's this. The people don't know that it's stage acting, but when we tell them about the Zionism, let me mention this before I forget it. Have you noticed that in the last few days, some football players and what have you, I just turned it off. I said, I can't watch them be humiliated. It was on CNN. Here's what that story is about. Niggas is getting too much play. So we gotta shoot in the Zionists. See, this is not bad. I'll explain why. So the Zionists can't stand Negroes getting all this attention. So I see one of the football players said, we can't be in competition with Jews about who's more this, that, and the other, who's more oppressed. Then the other one, the black-looking one, was saying, they're twisting what he's saying. And he's telling them something about the Rothschild, red shield, the German Baron Rothschild. He's German. He sent one of his sons to England, one to France, one to Switzerland, he had 5 sons he sent to the European capitals. He was a big banker, and he took control over the banking system in Europe. Okay, but here's what happened with us. They were so mad at the system for spending so much time on black people, because remember, their narrative was only 30% successful. That means it was 70% unsuccessful. What do we mean? When you see, for no reason at all, they bring something up about Jews and what happened, and all of a sudden the old Jewish rabbi died and they run that story out over and over again. If you see Donald Trump, they keep talking about his Russian connection, but they never talk much about his Zionist connection. Remember, they moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Quds. That was a giveaway. They cut off Palestinian money and said, now we're offering you the deal of the century. They was getting millions in charity and everything. The U.S. cut it off to starve the people to death. Those are Zionists. Okay, now we have a lot of the Zionists are very interested in us. They have been super duper interested in us for a long time, and we've known it. Fox News, Zionists. And we knew everybody was telling, not everybody, but some of our family, don't go up there, they're gonna make it, you know, I'm Negro, so they're gonna make a fool out of me, you know, them smart white folks. I looked at them like, y'all must be crazy. The other thing I looked at is what they did to Sami al-Arian, the Florida Palestinian professor. They set him up, Fox News, and got him to say something that was, that they could stick a case on, Sami al-Arian. So I already know what to expect from them. So I go up there and have a good time. Now, I have to be careful too. If I just come out talking out the side of my mouth, I'm not gonna get too far. So, when I go up there, the first thing Sean Hannity says to me before we go home, I know you're going to say something provocative. I said, boy, this guy is stupid. So, I had a piece of paper with 10 words on it. And each word was a whole idea, a paragraph almost. So, all I did, all the time we're talking, I would keep looking to see, and I would go right down the list. And I got to number 7. So out of 10 things I wanted to say, with him asking the questions, I said 7 of them. So I've been a success. The other thing is that he tries to intimidate Muslims. And if he can intimidate you, you can get on this program anytime you want. I was on there one time, and when it closes out, I'm calling him a dummy. And if you're a dummy, you follow a dummy, then you're a bigger dummy than he is. Okay? So he wanted me to say, yes, I hate Jews. I said, Jews? What's wrong with Jews? You know, I'm looking around, what's wrong with you? I don't know if you saw the thing. What's wrong with Jews? I was with the rabbi, and then I had just finished talking on a program with the Jewish rabbis. I mean, when you look at them, you say, oh, these are authentic Jews. Anybody that's wearing fur coats and fur hats and it's 100 degrees outside, they real about that.
Right, yeah.
Right? And they do that. You ever see them?
I've seen it,
They be outside.
They take it seriously.
I said, man, y'all some serious brothers. And they like me, you know, Rabbi Weiss and all of them. They like me. And I got a book where 132 rabbis against Zionism. So Sean Hannity was a total failure. But Fox News, right? Fox News is the premier Zionist network in the United States. Fox News, 20th Century Fox, you know, Warner Brothers, you know, movies. They created Hollywood, you know. Okay, so we had programs here. It was a time when they had a Zionist attack on the Masjid. They had us in the media. Imam Musa is a mouthpiece for Iran. Imam Musa do this, Imam Musa do that. And I always take it and make a benefit out of it. It was when Channel 2 down in Atlanta came through. They did a few interviews, and the guy put them on TV down there, and he called me, he said, man, I put your stuff on. And he looked at certain things. I had on those boxes, pictures of Imam Jamil. So he looked at that. He said, you got this on? I said, yeah. He said, so you believe in any news is good news? In other words, any attention is good? I said, yeah, that's what but now he's working for them. But he put the first program on, and he said,